Good evening. I'd like to call the regular meeting of the Stillwater Planning Commission, Tuesday, August 15th, to order. We'll begin with miscellaneous items for board of discussion and possible action, the election of chair and vice chair. We'll begin with the election of the chair.
I'd like to make a motion for Brad Rickelman as chair.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that Brad Rickelman. Any other nominations? Thank you. Sorry.
I'm fine with that.
All right. It's been moved and seconded that Brad Rickelman be elected chair of the Planning Commission. Vote. The motion passes 4-0. All right. We'll now have the election of the vice chair of the Planning Commission.
I'd like to nominate Ariel Ross for vice chair.
Second.
Are there any other nominations? There being none, the motion passes 4-0. We'll also appoint, we need to appoint a Planning Commission representative to the Board of Adjustment. This is one person, and they're replacing my position, correct? That I'm doing right now. So, nomination.
And standing with tradition, I'd like to nominate Zelt Wilkins for our planning commissioner representative on the Board of Adjustment.
Second.
Are there any other nominations? All right.
Let's hope he has Thursdays free.
Doesn't matter.
The motion passes 4-0 for Zelt to be the Planning Commission representative of the Board of Adjustments. We will now turn to land use items for discussion and possible action. A map amendment reads.
No, that's fine. No, that's,
Oh, yeah.
That's still you, yeah?
that's him.
That's me.
That was my fault. Sorry.
As chair, I now will continue this meeting.
Sorry.
Make mention so it's clear in the minutes that the newly elected has assumed the position.
The chair, Brad Rickelman, will now take over the remainder of the meeting.
I appreciate that very much, that you would stand in for the rest of the meeting. Please continue.
Land use items for discussion and possible action. A map amendment rezoning PZ-17-2215, requesting review and approval of a map amendment to rezone property addressed as 1121 Southwestern Road from RSS, residential single family, to O office. This item was noticed and originally scheduled for the August 1st Planning Commission, canceled due to lack of quorum. Good evening.
Good evening, Patty Evans, Development Services. This is a map amendment for 1121 Southwestern Road. Oops, let me fix this first. And this is the property in the hatched area. It's zoned RSS, small lot single family, and small lot single family is on the east, north, and west of this property. And on the south, and extending across the road and down on the west side of Western is office. And this is a look at the property. It does have a residential structure on it right now. The property is adjacent to the office zoning on the south. The property is for sale, and the owner had some interest in what this property might be because of the location and the size of the property. It's just under 1 acre, so it's a large piece of property there. Western Road is a section line road and is classified as a minor arterial. Usually commercial uses are found on section line roads, and our comp plan does state that this is a commercial property, and in fact commercial is suggested all the way up to 6th on both sides of Western. Oh, before I get to the findings, I'll tell you about some of the I did have a call from a neighbor, and she had talked to a couple of her neighbors and had some issues about stormwater, safety, the increase in traffic, stuff like that. And I talked to her and told her some of the regulations controlling what could happen with the property, and she seemed satisfied, and I don't believe she's here tonight, so maybe I answered all of her questions. Okay, going to findings. It is adjacent to office and RSS. The C3 plan does say it's designated for commercial. The Western Road is a section line and a minor arterial, and it could be utilized for redevelopment. It also can be still utilized for the residential, but if they go to office, then they can't go back, and it's rezoned to office, then they can't go back to a residential use if it's used for a residential type use. Okay, are there any questions?
Questions?
No?
Thank you very much. I'd now like to open the public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak in favor of the item, please step forward, give your name and address for the record. If there's no one wishing to speak in favor, anyone wishing to speak in opposition to the item, please come forward. There being no one, we'll close the public hearing and ask for staff's alternatives.
Okay, the alternatives are to recommend approval to the City Council, or to recommend the request be denied, or to continue it to a certain date or table the request.
Any discussion among the commissioners?
I move to accept findings and recommend the city council approve the proposed map amendment as presented.
I'll second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve the recommendations. Motion passes 4-0. The next item for discussion is Health Systems Map Amendment rezoning PZ-17-221A. Review and approval of map amendment to rezone property addressed at 1215 Southwestern Road from RSS to O. And this item also was originally scheduled for the August 1st Planning Commission, canceled due to lack of quorum. Staff.
All right, this is another map amendment in the same area. It's here on the corner of Western and 12th Avenue. It's known as West Haven. This was the property that you just rezoned, so you can see that there is office on this intersection now, or possibly. There is RSS, which is a church, on the east side, office on the north and the west, and CS, or commercial shopping, on the south. This is the site photo of West Haven. This property was developed as a nursing home, I don't know, approximately 40 years ago. It fits into the healthcare and social assistant category. So it's a legal non-conforming use right now in the RSS. The healthcare and social assistant uses are allowed in the office by right. So if it's rezoned to office, it would bring it into legal conforming status. The findings, it is a legal non-conforming use presently. The C3 plan, of course, says that this property could be utilized for commercial uses, and there are adjacent commercial zoning districts, and if it's changed to office zoning districts, then it will bring it into compliance as a legal use. Are there any questions?
We'll now open the public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak in favor of this item, please step forward. Give your name and address for the record. Anyone wishing to speak in opposition to the item, please step forward. There being none, we'll close the public hearing and ask for staff's alternatives.
You can recommend approval, recommend the request be denied, or continue it to a certain date, or table it.
Any discussion?
I move to accept findings and recommend the city council approve the proposed map amendment as presented.
Second.
to approve staff recommendations. The motion passes 4-0. The next item on the agenda is the approval of the meeting summary for discussion and possible action of the regular meeting, July 18, 2017.
Move for approval.
Second.
The motion passes 4-0. And miscellaneous items, next Planning Commission meeting will be September 5th, 2017. Do I have a motion for adjournment?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Motion passes. Thank you all very much. Thank you for serving.
Thank you.